Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today's theme is Agents of Grace. You'll recognize this song.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Gaithersburg. I'm Rev Edie, filling in for Rev Steve, and I am just delighted that I get to do this today. So welcome, and those of you joining us, hello in cyberspace, yay! Thank you for coming into our sacred space here. Can you just feel the love going in and out? Because we know that there is no separation. We know that. So today we have an incredible team as usual making all of this happen. We have Keith and Jim and Kevin running all the incredible AV that we have. We have Jeff and John and Jim on music, and Michael is wandering around helping to set up the potluck. He's our wonderful facilities manager, and we also have Joanne and Amanda on our ushers and greeters team, and some board members in the house. Hello, board members, woohoo. Thank you. So it's just a joy. If you're here for the first time and you want some info, we have some little packets on the back table there. You can also email us and ask us our questions, whatever comes to your mind. We'd love to have you here. And we also have a wonderful mission and vision that we've been working on during this transition time. And I'm going to read it and just kind of just take in as I read our vision and mission. Being love, joy, and harmony, we expand the consciousness of oneness. Feel that. We expand the consciousness of oneness. And our mission, we are a heart-centered, evolving, and expansive spiritual community dedicated to expressing our divinity, empowering personal transformation, and honoring all through spiritual practice, education, and service. And our core values, diversity, youth and family, spiritual education, community, love in action, prayer, gratitude, abundance, and integrity. So let's just take that in and look around and just check in, give a smile, give a nod. Just this is a time where we normally we would greet our neighbors with hugs and things, but we just kind of, we love each other from afar during our social distancing time. So just check in and say hi and give a wave. And now it is time for our spiritual nugget. And while we're looking at our spiritual nugget, this would be a really great time to check your cell phone and make sure that it is on vibrate or off or something. That would be awesome. So each week, Rev Steve has introduced the idea that we just share just a tiny bit of the unity spirituality every week. And so this week, I picked this from the Silent Unity prayer service. Every month, Silent Unity has these wonderful meditative prayer services that you can download from their website and just use them in your prayer time. And so I picked this one. I am divinely guided step by step to a new and fulfilling life. In the midst of every question and concern, divine wisdom is an active force for my moment-by-moment discernment. I'm never without a sense of direction, for God is wisdom. God is wisdom. In the quiet of prayer, I open inner space for all that I need to know. In the quiet of prayer, I open up to all that I need to know. For we know that when we go within, when we go to that incredible source within and we tune out the outer, that wisdom, we can hear that inner voice, that still small voice. Wonderful. So we're going to change gears a little bit for our opening. We have a very special opening today. I'm very excited about this. We have a drumming circle coming up on September 24th. That's a Friday. We do these every couple of months. We have a drumming circle. And our lead drum instructor is Jeff Halverson, who you may or may not know is also a professor of meteorology at UMBC. So I get it right half the time. But he's also an incredible drum instructor. So when you come to these drum circles, he will teach us rhythms, and then we get to practice and play. And so they have a very special rhythm for us to practice today. And we're going to be moving. We're going to move. Doubling as musician as our facilities manager, Michael.
These are the authentic instruments up here, folks, from West Africa. We have all kinds of things. We have these big drums are called dundun, and they're tuned drums. This is a traditional djembe that John is playing. Jim is going to be playing a bell called ken-ken, and Michael here is going to be doing
Thank you so much, you guys. You're all warmed up now. Is your energy rising? That's fabulous, because now I'm going to turn you over to Sharon for our transformational opportunities.
Oh, wow. Good morning, everyone. Wasn't that amazing? The one and only time I was ever able to be at a drum circle, I was on a beach in Fort Myers, Florida, under the full moon. I was just, wow, and this took me right back there. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. So there is no community potluck today. There is no community dialogue today because there is community potluck. Right after service at 12:30. You're welcome to eat inside or out. And if you're able to stay and help clean up, that would be awesome too. Our summer giving project, compliments of the Caring Cottage team, is the Trevor Project. I know you've heard about this on previous Sundays, but what a fabulous, fabulous group this is, and the young people that they help, it's just essential in today's world. So for more information and to donate, please go to our special events page on our website. And it's that time of year again, and we need help here at Unity with weeding. So if you want to spend more time in the great outdoors and help our spiritual community, come over and pull some weeds. Anytime that's good for you during office hours, which I believe are Tuesday through Friday from 11 until 5. And, ooh, you get free chocolate. Our Unity World Day of Prayer is coming up September 8th and 9th. Something very special to all of us prayer chaplains for sure, but all of us within Unity. So please join us for a heart-opening time of prayer and meditation. Our prayer chaplains will be hosting a meditative opening and closing service, but we need you. There is a sign-up sheet at the back of our sanctuary and also online through our website under the special events page. You do not need to be here at Unity to hold sacred space. What else was I going to say? Oh, because there is no separation of spirit. So wherever we can be to hold prayer, please help. And I would like to add one other thing. I don't have a slide on this, but Lorna is our prayer chaplain today here at Unity for anyone who would like to pray with her. And now let's hold our prayer for our transition process. And maybe we can all say this together. We hold a vision of a smooth, grace-filled, and peaceful ministry transition process, embracing our differences as we expand our consciousness of oneness and love. We trust the process of divine order. And now for our daily word, joy, which, even though it's unofficial, is our, here at Unity of Gaithersburg's 13th power. I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. Joy is the call of my heart. Whether I am at work or at play, I bring a spirit of joyfulness to everything I do. More than a mood or an attitude, joy is part of me and mine to live and to share. Like all aspects of my divine identity, joy flowers in my consciousness when I hold joyful thoughts and feelings. I express my joy as the excitement of anticipation, fascination at a new discovery, deep satisfaction in a relationship, and the tranquil glow of communing with God in prayer. My joy is contagious, and I love to share in it. I have feelings of joy when I take part in a friend's or family member's joyous moments, their celebrations and accomplishments. I feel quiet joy when I offer encouragement and even when I give comfort, grateful to share the care and love of God. And from Thessalonians 5:16, rejoice always. And now let us prepare for meditation by singing All Is Well.
As I close my eyes and the world disappears, I can feel my breath rise and fall. There's a light inside that dispels all my fears, and I hear a gentle voice calling. All is well. 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 All is well.
So in this moment, we breathe together. We settle in. We take another deep breath, feeling our feet on the ground, our sacred, sacred Mother Earth. And as we take another breath, we bring our attention to our heart. Our precious, wonderful, powerful heart. In this moment, as we breathe through our heart, we remember our connection with all that is. We remember that we are love. We remember that we are wisdom. We remember that we are peace. And with each breath, we allow ourselves to relax even more into this knowing that all is well in this present moment. We acknowledge our wholeness, for we are inherently whole. We are inherently creative. We are inherently wise. And yes, we are inherently magnificent. We walk this earth to remind each other through our love, to remind each other that we are the embodiment of love. And we walk this planet to bring joy, to bring compassion, to bring understanding, to bring cooperation, to bring solace, to bring comfort. Our very presence can bring comfort if we allow it. We can stand for love. We can stand for peace. As we open our hearts and our minds to embrace all beings. For there is room enough in our heart. Our love knows no bounds. There is room for all. And we can lift them up with a mere thought, for we know there is no separation. We can send our love anywhere we choose. And so in this moment, call to mind someone or some place where you want to send your love in the silence. And so let us remember every moment that when we read a distressing headline or hear distressing news, we can send our love. We can send our compassion. We can send our wisdom and our creativity. We can hold an energy of win-win solutions. We can hold an energy of of peace. As we be peace in our lives, as we be love in our lives, as we speak words of love and words of compassion, think thoughts of love and of compassion, we contribute to this field of love that grows ever bigger as we set that intention. It is so. It is so. It is so. Amen.
By your grace, the winter turns to spring, the birth of everything is by your grace. By your grace, we all can change our ways create a brighter day. It's by your grace. Holding hands, one family, sharing love so naturally. By your grace, the angels guide my way. I feel them when I pray. It's by your grace. By your grace, my heart is open wide. My fears are swept aside. It's by your grace. It's by your grace. It's by your grace. By your grace.
Out of Steve's book today. Got the slides? So, I thought about this talk, Agents of Grace, because we can set that intention to be this incredible force in the world. And I wanted to start with a little visual joke. So slide 1, please. Can you see that? Just to set the tone a little bit. So, next slide. That would be good. Oh, I'm talking to the screen, but I should be talking to you. There we go. So grace, is this a good place for me to stand? Am I good? Grace is not a strange magic substance which is subtly filtered into our souls to act as a kind of spiritual penicillin. Grace is unity, oneness with ourselves, oneness with God. And that's from Thomas Merton. So as we think about this theme of grace, of moving through life with grace, we say in unity, we say a lot, grace and ease and joy. And so I thought about this theme of grace and what does it really mean and how can we explore it. And so I have a quick housekeeping thing. You hopefully got a little card and a pen, because there will be a couple times where I'm going to invite you to just reflect if you want to. This is just a little thing for you to reflect on. So I want you to think about this question. So the next slide, this question. Remember, when you're in a position to help someone, be glad and always do it, because that's the universe answering someone else's prayers through you. Consider that. Grace, we can be agents of grace because the universe could answer someone's prayer through you. Has everyone ever experienced that, where you were the answer to someone's prayer? And it just was like, wow. And you knew it, and you knew that it was. Okay, so think about that. And so now we have a question for you to ponder in our next slide. What way of being would make the biggest difference to the world? So I want you just to reflect on that. What way of being would make the biggest difference in the world? And this is for you personally, not just for humanity, but just for you personally. What way of being? Okay, so just get quiet for a second and jot down an idea, because now we're going to move around a little bit, and then you're going to do the same exercise after you move around a little bit. I'm going to get you moving. So just put a quick idea on there, and then we're going to move around a little bit. So put your card and your pen down, and if you are able to stand and move, that's great, but if you want to just stay in your chair and move, that's okay too. I have a quick little dance slide that we're going to do to get your juices flowing. And as your juices are flowing here, think about this question. How can I make a difference? What is mine to do? What are my gifts that I have to share? How can I be the answer to somebody else's prayer? So get ready. Here we go. If you are able to stand, go ahead. And those of you online, I hope you're dancing in your living room, okay? This is a song everybody knows, and you can also dance in your chair.
Ready? I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close.
Okay, now that you're warmed up and your blood's going, review the question. Review the question. How can I, what is mine to do? What's mine to do? So write that down. What is mine to do? Your heart is open. Your brain has got lots of oxygen. What is mine to do? What is mine to do? Just write that down. So I'm going to pass the mic around just for, I would like 2 volunteers from the studio audience to share any ideas that came up. Oh! Be grateful. All right. One more.
been present.
Being present and being grateful. So there's lots of ways, and some of it is how we be, right? These two examples are how do we be? And just by being, just by anchoring these fields of gratitude, of love, we know that it goes out, it goes out, it goes out, because there is no separation. And there may be some actual practical things that came to your mind too. Like I'm gonna, change where I shop or something. So keep this going, keep this dialogue going with yourself all week long. And so we begin, I think I just lost my page, there it is, okay. The next slide is a little more in depth. And that is a quote from David Suzuki. And this kind of opens up our lens a little bit. The way we see the world shapes the way we treat it. If a mountain is a deity, not a pile of ore, if a forest is a sacred grove, not timber, if other species are biological kin, not resources, or if the planet is our mother, not an opportunity, then we will treat each other with greater respect. Thus is the challenge to look at the world from a different perspective. And I think this is one of the things that grace invites us to do. How can we be agents of grace for our fellow humans, but also for the planet? How do we use our powers for good, for the planet? And so remember that our daily conscious choices, every day we make conscious choices, what to wear, when to drive, how to drive, what to eat. And these little choices can add up. Add up, add up, add up. And so our fellow humans and the planet are calling us to be different. We are being called to be different. We are being called to think differently, act differently. We're being called up. We're being called up into our power and into our magnificence. We're called to rise above the either-or thinking. And the big example here is jobs or the environment. Well, who says? Who says it's either-or? Who made up that rule? We have opportunities to be way showers, torch bearers, lights in the darkness. Hold up your light. We have the ability to hold up our light. So on your card, I want you to write, what is my light? How does my light show up? What is my light? How do I shine my light? What is my light? Could be anything. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's whatever is bubbling up from your own wisdom. I'm going to put that there. And so we can begin to ask ourselves the grace-facilitating questions, such as, what if? Who says? And why not? These help us open up our perception. They get us out of that loop of either or, either or, either or. What if it's and? What if it could be and? That we can have an incredibly pristine planet, and we have good jobs, and we have sustainable agriculture, all of that, and. So there's a story that I have that illustrates this. This is from A Chicken Soup for the Soul story. The social worker was assigned to a group of people who were on public assistance, and she was assigned to support them in their lives and kind of give them coaching and life coaching and things. And so she began her talk, and she asked a question about, well, what would it take for you to be able to, get a new job? And this one woman said, well, I could not get a good new job because of the rats. And she says, well, tell me more. Well, I have a hole in my screen door, and the rats keep coming in, and they're wrecking my house, and they're making my baby sick, and so I can't go out and look for a job because... And so she looked around the group and said, well, is there anybody here who knows how to fix a screen door? Another hand went up. He says, well, I haven't done this for a while because I've been laid up and I just got out of prison, but I could try. And so, sure enough, the next week, her screen got fixed, and this guy, who was kind of down on his luck, decided that, well, hey, maybe he could really go and get a job as a handyman. Boom. And then this next week, another question came up, that I would, who would like to be able to get a better job? And one woman said, well, I'd love to get a better job, but I have 4 children and I have no one to watch them. And so, same question, can anybody here in this group help her out? Does anybody have any ideas about how to help her out? Hand went up. I could watch her children. I have some kids, but I know how to watch kids. Sure enough. Okay, this woman took care of her kids. She went and got training, got a better job. And the woman who was watching the kids became a licensed daycare provider. And so these were examples. This is a great chicken soup for the chicken soup story. It's a wonderful, but the whole point is we're more creative than we think we are. We're smarter than we think we are. We are incredibly powerful. We are. But we just have to all put our heads together because we can all be agents of grace for each other. In this community, there's this incredible well of wisdom and intelligence and creativity. And all of you are examples. This community was created lots and lots of years ago, and it's still going because of the love and the dedication and the creativity and the ingenuity of this wonderful group of people. So give yourselves a pat on the back. But it means we have to, when we want to get out of a limited way of thinking, it means we have to ask those questions. Think about something where you're in either or thinking. When are you in either? Is there something where you're in either or? And keep that in mind, and I'm going to give you a quote from Eric Butterworth. You are not a helpless creature bobbing about like a cork on the seas of life, at the mercy of the storms of fate and circumstances. You are the very self-livingness of God. Take that in. You are the very self-livingness of God. I want you to reflect on that. How does this show up in your life? What does it mean to be the very self-livingness of God? How does the very self-livingness of God approach the challenges that you might be encountering? So think about a challenge that's coming up and write it down. Write down something where you could have stuck yourself into either or thinking. We call that survival mode. Just getting by. Write down something. So we've been lulled into sort of a complacency in our lives, have we not? We got our phones, we got our computers, we got the news, and sometimes we just kind of go through life, and we don't really think about what we're doing. But we're being called to really be present. We are being called to be fully present because the challenges that we face require that. They require us to be really stepping into our knowing, stepping into our power, stepping into our creativity. And to remember that we are brilliantly creative. You are brilliantly creative. Can you own that? You are brilliantly creative. Hi out there in TV land. You are brilliantly creative too. And there exists an elegant win-win solution to the challenges we face. That it exists. We know that in the quantum field, there are infinite possibilities that we can just pick one and bring it here. It exists. If we can think of it, it exists. But we have to change our thinking about it. We might have to change our behavior a little bit. We might have to change our habits. But we can bring that into this current 3D reality, right? So think about what you wrote on your card, this challenge that you're having, or maybe you're still in kind of survival thinking about it. And it's, where you feel like you had to sort of accept the lesser of two evils. We've all been there, oh, it's this or this. Could be anything. Could be something with your health, something in your finances, could be anything. And think about asking the what if questions. What if I could? What if it were possible? Why not? Who says? Sometimes we make up these sort of rules in our head, these arbitrary rules about the way things have to be, and we don't question them. So it's time to really question those rules. Well, who said? Who made up that rule? Right? And what if I could? What if is an amazing question. What if? What if I could? What if were possible? Just entertain that as you ponder this little challenge that you wrote down on your card. Sometimes, stress gives us tunnel vision and we can only think so far. But these questions open us up. Open us up. And that's what grace does. When we're bopping down the street and some incredible synchronicity happens, that gets our attention. It opens us up like, wow, cool stuff is possible, right? Grace happens when we allow it. Grace can happen to us when we open up our perspective, when we open up our lens. We can allow grace. We can allow synchronicities. We can allow win-win. The example for me was, when I knew it was time for me to step aside and go back to civilian life from the office. And when I got the news about my daughter and her husband having a baby, I started thinking about, okay, now it's time. How is this going to happen? And I started to get into this kind of worry mode. Oh no, oh no. And then I was like, you just got to let it go. You got to just practice what you preach here, Edie, and just let it go. So I just let it go. And Steve's like, well, couldn't Keith do it? I'm like, oh yeah. Win-win, elegant solution. Boom, elegant. Elegant means it's win-win. Elegant solutions are win-win for everybody. And it exists, they exist. But we just have to open our lens and allow it. And to me, this is grace. That was a grace-filled solution. Grace is when the Quakers say, way opens. Have you ever heard that expression? Way opens. It's wonderful. And so our unity principles call us out of this either-or survival mode. We have these incredible tools, and not the least of which is prayer. Prayer, we stand in our knowing. We affirm what is true. And we hold that. We hold it, we hold it, we hold it until we are able to really vibrate to that depth of our knowing. That we are not our perceived limitations, we are magnificent. Grace is flow. You've all had it. Have you had a chance to remember when you've been in the flow and you just felt, yeah, I'm in my groove? Have you been in your groove? Can you remember that? Okay? And it just flowed. That's grace. And life can be filled with grace. And we can be agents of that grace for others. We can, like I was saying at the beginning, we can be answers to someone's prayer. But we can also be agents of grace by being examples. When we stand in our knowing and we own our creativity and we own our magnificent and we open up to incredible solutions and creativity, then we can be agents of grace by showing others what is possible. That's a big one. Because when you see it working in someone's life, you're like, oh, I want what they have. And you ask them, well, what do you do? And they tell you whatever it is. You know, I meditate every day, or I pray every day, or I mind my thoughts. All of those things, whatever the tools are, that we can be examples of agents of grace. So the next slide is from One Spirit. Not one before that. Should be that one. Oh, I can't. It's hard to read. Anyway, the idea is that it's the small things. You know, the small things. We don't have to have these big, huge, momentous things that we do. It's everyday things that we do. We smile at the harried clerk. We open the door for somebody. We maybe hold, if someone's having a hard time, we hold their groceries for them. Whatever it is the small things add up. We can be agents of grace just in really small ways too. We can smooth someone's path in very small, everyday, mundane ways too. So think about that. When we remember our oneness, we remember that we are an integral part. All of us are important. Every single one of us is important. We all have a part to play in this incredible collective called humanity. And when we begin to take ourselves more seriously, when we begin to own it, then opportunities to be agents of grace will pop in our lives. Will just show up. It's going to be amazing. And just set that intention. It's going to be amazing. And allow it to be. We may be the perfect person to answer someone's prayer. And someone is going to be the perfect person to answer our prayer. We may have just the right information at just the right time. Again, we have an incredible amount of collective wisdom in this community. And we're open to being agents of grace. We're open to grace in our own life and the lives of others. We all are lifted. We are all lifted up. Wow. So, I want you to say this to yourself out loud. I am an agent of grace.
I am an agent of grace.
Do you feel it? Maybe. Okay. So now I'd like you to, if you're able to stand and you would like to stand, I invite you to stand. Close your eyes. Open your heart. Think about gratitude. Think about joy. Today's daily word is joy. Your love, your gratitude, your joy, your peace, your creativity, your magnificence. That is your power. That is your power. When you come from that place, you are an agent of grace. Own your magnificence. Own your creativity. Own your brilliance. Do you feel it? One more time. I am an agent of grace. Say that. Excellent. You can sit down now. So just take that. If you get some ideas about this, again, just take your card and jot down, how am I going to be an agent of grace today in your prayer time? How am I going to smooth the way for myself or for somebody else? So I'm going to close with a video that has recirculated. And thank you to Marge Kling for being my agent of grace for this talk, because this video popped in from her last week, and it's perfect to sort of bring it all home together. So this is a wonderful little YouTube video that many of you will know.
เขาจะได้อะไร ถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวัน เขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้น เพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
Isn't that incredible? It's as simple as that. And so let's bring it home with our next slide, which is from Henry Nouwen. He's wonderful. So think about these questions. Did I offer peace today? Did I bring a smile to someone's face? Did I say words of healing? Did I love? These are the real questions. And we'll affirm together. In the midst of immense complexity, my service is radically simple. I do whatever small thing is needed in a given moment with a loving heart. And so it is. Thank you.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. He said, you got a friend in me. 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 You got troubles, I got them too. There's not a thing I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we'll see this through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe. None of them could ever love you the way that I do. It's just me and you. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. 'Cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Wow, once again. And if you don't mind, let's give Edie another shout out. We are so blessed, so grateful you're here. Thank you, Edie. And now it is time for our tithes and offerings. We can donate through www.unityofgaithersburg.org or text GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 301-918-5625 and follow the prompts. And for our prosperity wisdom, let's all say this together. I am connected to infinite, abundant spiritual supply. The prospering power of God is in focus as I appreciate all that I have and all that I desire. I waste not a moment in thoughts of lack. Instead, I celebrate the infinite, irrepressible power of prosperity. Yes, indeed. And now for our love offering blessing. Again, let's all say this together. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am so grateful.
Of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart.
So fun. And it's time for the children to come in. Come on in, guys. Woohoo! They're here. Yay! Hi, guys. Do you guys want to come up? Anybody want to come up and be in the limelight? Maybe? Oh, wait. Oh! Yay!
They had a lot of fun, and we encourage exuberant joy, and also working as a team. They were building all kinds of amazing Lego things, and then without prompting, they decided, let's put it together. And I just warms my heart. Yes, teamwork and beautiful creativity. Thank you guys for being so awesome. Are you ready? Say, I am the light of the world. I live as the light. You are the light of the world. You live as the light. We are the light of the world. We live as the light.
You indeed, yes, yes. Woohoo, we are so blessed with the youth and the joy and the incredible creativity here. So we're going to form our energetic circle. So we're going to have a socially distanced energetic circle as we sing our peace song and our prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God presence of God washes over us, and wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen, amen,
Oh, look around, take in the love, open your heart, and remember this week you are an agent of grace. And so it is.